Well, protests erupted in Lafia, the Nasarawa state capital, following the Supreme Court's judgment upholding Governor Sule's win. Protesters and supporters of the People's Democratic Party blocked the Lafia-Jos Road, burning tires in front of the party's secretariat. 38 protesters have been remanded in custody for allegedly causing public disturbance. Well, the protesters, many of them women, were charged before the Chief Magistrate Court by the state's Commissioner of Police. In the wake of the protests, Governor Sule has called on residents to honor the Supreme Court's verdict. Sule acknowledged dissenting opinions regarding the decision, but called for unity. He commended the justice system for ensuring fairness without interference.
We had over 600,000 votes, and we won with 340-something thousand votes. So you will know that over 200,000 people did not vote for us. So if out of these 200,000 people that did not vote for us, another set of 50 people are protesting somewhere, or 100 people, call it even 1,000 people, that are protesting somewhere, then you will know, because it's a day that not everybody will be happy. We must thank Mr. President, and that's what brought us here to the villa. We thank him for the kind of role he continues to play in all of this by ensuring that fairness is done without due interference, allowing the justice system to work the way it's supposed to. So you must express great appreciation to him, for doing all that to the good people of Nigeria. As far as we are concerned in Nasarawa State, we have won actually at the Court of Appeal unanimously. We also won today with the 5 justices being led by a panel of the highly respected Justice Kudirat Kekere Okun, JSC.
Well, Nasarawa Governor Abdullahi Sule joins us now live here on Newsnight. Good to see you, and thanks for your time. Well, first, what does this, congratulations, and what does this judgment mean for you and the people of Nasarawa State?
Well, it means the end of a process. Thank you very much, Suleiman. It means the end of a process, actually. It's a process. Democracy as a whole is a process. We started with congresses, we went into the primaries, we went into the election, and then, of course, those who didn't agree had taken to the tribunal, then the appeal court, and of course, the final today is the Supreme Court. So to me, it's really an end of a process for democracy. I don't see any animosity, I don't see any anger, I don't see anything in that particular line. And now that we have seen the end of it, then we can now concentrate on areas of development, which we have started looking at all the prospects that Nasarawa State has, bringing down our wisdom, in order to drive the vision that we have for the state. So for me, that's the way I look at it, and that's why I continue to call on everyone, who has participated, whether in form of opposition or being part of us, to come in and partner so that we can develop our state.
That's quite interesting. Let me seize the opportunity to also say congratulations to you, Your Excellency. Right, so Nigerians are very curious.
Thank you.
Yeah, the Nigerians are curious to know or understand why governors who have won at the Supreme Court see the need to actually thank President Tinubu for not interfering in court processes. Has that been the norm before now? Why is it necessary to thank Mr. President?
Well, the reason why it's important to do that is because you have seen that he is one president that every governor goes to, not necessarily just APC governors. You will be surprised that there are some other governors of the opposition that have asked him, to try as much as possible not to push and support his own party, but to stay off, so that at least they will be able to get fairness. And that's what he did. So I don't think it was the same in the past, where, it depends. There are two different individuals, so there are people who will not even give the face for that. But you have to understand that President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a grassroots politician and has been in politics all through. So, and he has been in different platforms. So a lot of people, who know him probably are in different political parties today, and they go to him. You know, there are so many governors of the opposition, believe me, believe it or not, that have gone to him also to seek for support. You know, but in every one of us, you know, he said, I'm going to stay out of it. So that's what we mean by going to say thank you, you know, for staying off and allowing the judiciary to play its role.
And now that you are clearly the governor for the next 4 years, what are your plans? I mean, quoting you, you took Nasarawa IGR from 7 billion naira in 2019 to 20 billion naira. What strategies do you have to improve on that, considering that Nasarawa State is endowed with a lot of natural resources?
Well, thank you very much, Ngozi. By the way, thank you so much. You congratulated me. I didn't say thank you before you started talking. So I want to thank you so much. And it's nice actually to get back. You know, in the past, each time I wanted to grant an interview, lawyers will tell me, no, you may go and say something that will be detrimental also. So as I told my friend Sheun, you know, so I'm free at last actually to come and speak to the press and be able to promote my state and sell my state. And that's exactly what you have asked me to do now. So how are we going to improve that? How are we going to drive that? How are we going to do that? So today, from what you have seen, Nasarawa State has been identified with huge commercial quantity of lithium, which is one of the most sought minerals that you are looking for in the world today. In the next 2 months or so, we are going to commission. In fact, I invited Mr. President today when I saw him, inviting him to come and commission the very first, you know, lithium processing plant in Nasarawa State. So that is going to be a revenue source for us. We have constructed a lot of roads into the rural areas today. As you know, Nasarawa came first in the nation on the NG Cares support. You know, based on the amount of money we get, we are constructing 15 kilometers of rural road, you know, which will allow farm produce, you know, actually to get to the cities. So it will improve also in that area. Our IGR definitely will go and improve in that area. Today, as you know, Nasarawa State, we are promoting this discovery of oil. If that works out, then the issue of IGR will actually not only, you know, triple, but may even quadruple, you know, because of the fact that the commercial quantity of oil that is found. All these are visions that are being driven. We promoted a lot of companies that will come and do agriculture in Nasarawa State. And that's why Nasarawa State today, we are lucky. We are #1 in the nation when it comes to sesame production. We are #2 in yam production. We are #2 in cassava production in the country, and we are #5 in rice production. You know, so all these are promotion to ensure that we go towards that area. And we are also promoting a lot of technical and vocational education, and then training some of our youth so they can be independent. It's also a source of revenue. So we have different sources. Here, closer to you in Abuja, you know, you will see a lot of housing estate. As a matter of fact, in the next 2 months or so, again, we are going to the technology village, you know, which is at Rescos. You know, will also be commissioned. It's another housing estate, which is a PPP arrangement with the private sector, which will be another source of revenue for the state. We have just acquired 3 licenses, you know, for the mining licenses. That's why I saw the minister yesterday, Dele Alake, in that area, you know, for lithium mining, for gold mining in Karu, and also for tin mining. If we go into this PPP arrangement, it is all towards IGR improvement in Nasarawa State. So those are the kinds of areas, Ngozi, that we are pushing to go.
You're talking about meeting some of the ministers. Are you also thinking of meeting Dave Umahi, the Minister of Works, and some others like the Minister of the FCT? For Nasarawa being close to the FCT, there are a lot of things that you should be working on, which you are very conversant with. Some people in Houston can actually come from some other place, from even Austin or Dallas, and just the way people in New Jersey go to work in New York. So how can you make Nasarawa benefit from the proximity to the FCT, keeping in mind security and ARO's network?
I have met with the Minister of Works, that is Dave Umahi, more number of times than any minister, than even the Minister of Solid Minerals, you know, because of these same reasons that you have mentioned. I have met him because of the road that we want to construct, which is a federal road going from Mpape to Guruku to Panda, and Panda all the way to Gitata, in order to connect that area. We have discussed that in detail. I have seen the minister recently when he granted approval for us to do the dualization and open the roads in Akwanga local government. Today, the work has already started about a week ago. I also met him about reducing the traffic inside Lafia. He gave me the approval just a couple of days back, and we are going into that. So in fact, if you are talking of the meeting the Minister of Works, I have met him more number of times than even the minister in my own state, the Minister of Police Affairs. So you are right. You have to meet a minister that is going to work more towards what you are doing, and that's what we are trying to do. So I have met David Omahi for the same reasons you have mentioned.
Let's talk about security. I know some weeks back, your humble self and governors of the North Central states actually came together and mooted the idea of a regional security outfit. Has flesh been given to that idea? What exactly will be the way forward on that particular project?
Well, that one did not actually take off as expected, and it didn't get the kind of rapid progress that some of us expected. So what we are doing is continue to promote some within the states until, immediately we finish that. Most of the governors that we are talking about, Lalong is gone, he is no longer the governor. Otom is gone, he is no longer the governor. Bello from Niger is gone, he is no longer the governor. And very soon the governor of Kogi also will be gone. So these are the kinds of things that we come across. Some of us who are, governors that are having a flip, over that. So it is only the governor of Kwara and I that are still on that page. But what we did in Nasarawa State, in order not to wait for that, is to continue to promote the one for Nasarawa State that will help Nasarawa State. And that's why we decided to do everything possible. Just 2 days ago, you will have seen that the nomadic vigilante also has been established for the first time in Nigeria in Nasarawa State. Because you have a lot of these Fulanis, who are, we used to call them Fulani vigilante, that have been assisting the security agencies, but they were not organized. And as a result of that, Nasarawa State decided to organize them because a lot of them know the roads, they know where to follow, they know all the grazing routes and the rest of that, and they have been assisting the military. So Miete Allah came together with our own security agencies, not the state, security agencies, because at the launching of the Nomad Vigilante, if you saw it 2 days ago in Lafia, you will see the military were there, the police were there, the DSS were there, the civil defense were there. So they are monitoring them to check them so that we also don't have another problem where a vigilante group can graduate and actually become a militia group. So we are trying to avoid that kind of situation.
For you to really get all of this sorted, you must be working from a peaceful, position. Now, speaking of Nasarawa State, protest earlier when your victory was announced. How are you handling opposition and dissenting voices?
Well, I mentioned it earlier, actually, at the villa when I went to see Mr. President. There is no place in the country, in fact, no place around the world where such will take place, a decision by the court will take place and everybody will be happy, So there are some people, who may not be happy. But the best thing is the people have to understand the issue of election. I have mentioned that in Nasarawa State, when we had the election, over 600,000 people voted. We only had 347,000 votes. Therefore, over 200,000 people didn't vote for us. So out of these people, now the protests you are talking about actually took place in one spot. This protest we're talking about at the front of the party office. That's where they put some tires and burned them. And this protest has been going on for the past 2 months. Since we won at the appeal court, those people have been protesting, but we never paid attention. We never tampered with their protest because they were doing it inside the compound of the PDP. But today, they decided now to violate that by going to the major highway to burn tires. In that case, you don't have a choice but to arrest them. So they arrested them, and in fact, that was the end of the protest that you are talking about. So they arrested them, and they arrested most of their motorcycles. The total number of people was 38 people. So this one that you will hear, there was protest in Lafia, big thing in Lafia. That's the way, unfortunately, negative press works faster than positive press. If you go and see Lafia today, the number of people from the palace all the way to Government House that were celebrating and this and that, thousands of people, but there was no news about that. It's about the few 38 people that were protesting in front of that. And the moment they were arrested, that was the end of the protest that you are talking about. You know, that's what happened. So, but as I said, I'm the governor of all. I'm a governor of the PDP people, the APC people, the ABGA people, and Labour Party, and everybody. So, and that's the way I've always treated them. And I demonstrated them when we were given the palliatives. When we were given the palliatives, I went even into the nook and corners where the strength of opposition was. And I went there myself, and I gave them the palliatives of rice, I gave them money, I gave them, you know, so all those kind of things to show that I'm the governor for all. You know, that's what I've continued to do, to unite the people, because I understand the importance of peace, and that's what I continue to promote peace.
Great. Will you be extending specifically the olive branch to Ombugadu of the PDP? I mean, he went all the way to the Supreme Court, you know, with you.
Well, this time around, I'm lucky. You know, a lot of us actually forgot that in 2019, Mbugadu also went all the way to Supreme Court. In 2019, Labaran Makwen took me all the way to the Supreme Court. This time around, I'm lucky it's only Mbugadu that took me all the way to Supreme Court. So it is not a new thing. When he took me to Supreme Court in 2019 and lost, I offered him the olive branch. I said, come, we can work together. You are a very young person. You know, I'm not as young as he is. I have seen the world. I have worked in different countries of the world. You know, I have been CEO of multinational companies and the rest of that. You know, something like that he has not been. So I say, come, we can work together. It's not your time. But when your time comes, you know, I don't know how old he is, but definitely I'm at least some 15 to 20 years older than he is. You know, and I'm saying the wall is there, it's open for you. I contested to be a governor first in the year 2007. I didn't make it. 12 years later, I became the governor in 2019. Therefore, the room is there, you know, for you. But where there is this desperation and where there is this anger and this, you know, it's not a good thing for any young person to do. And so I have preached that. I have opened my arms. I'm still ready to accept Mbugadu to come with his ideas, you know. He doesn't have to join our party if he doesn't want to. But come with the ideas, you know, and be able to demonstrate that. I was not part of CPC when I actually came in to work with Tanko Almakura and bring some of the biggest agricultural company that we have today in Nasarawa State. I was not in their party, you know, when I did that. So you don't have to be in the party to assist the government. So if you truly want to work and you have the ideas to drive and assist the government, come and do it in your own way. You know, so that's the way I look at life, and I'm offering that to Mbugadu and all his other people, because that's what life is all about. In the next Suleiman say 4 years, it's not even 4 years. In the next 3 years plus, you know, I'm done. I'm gone. Somebody else has to come to this seat. I must have finished my 8 years. So that's what life is all about.
Absolutely, and that's what every political office holder must keep in mind. Abdullahi Sule, Nasarawa State Governor, thank you so much and congratulations once again.